It's January 18th, 2026. Welcome to YesToHellWith.com. Here is a summation of this video. After you ask correctly, agencies rarely do what people expect. They often stay silent or send template replies that avoid your questions or proceed with enforcement anyway. That silence or deflection does not mean you lost or won. It means the agency chose not to cure defects, and that absence of proof now exists in the record. Silence is not an outcome, but a condition of unresolved authority, and unresolved authority accumulates as evidence for later challenge, not for immediate relief. Now, we covered what questions must be asked, in what order, and how to ask them without arguing. Now we address the next reality. What happens after you ask correctly? Most people expect one of two outcomes. Either the agency answers the questions or the agency backs off. That expectation is incorrect. Agencies respond in predictable patterns. The first response is often silence, not because your questions were weak, but because answering them creates problems the agency does not want to address. Silence does not mean that you won, and it does not mean the issue is resolved. It means the agency chose not to clarify its position. The second common response is a template reply, a letter that restates conclusions, repeats demands, or changes the subject entirely. That is not an answer. It is a continuation of presumption. The third response is action without any response, assessment, enforcement, levy, litigation. This does not mean your questions failed. It means the agency proceeded without curing the defects. Here is the critical point. Agency silence does not create relief. It creates evidence. When you ask for authority and receive none, that fact exists in the record. When you ask for jurisdiction and receive none, that fact exists in the record. When you ask for the law creating obligation and receive none, that fact exists in the record. Silence does not help you immediately. It helps you later, if the record is clean. That is why expectation matters. If you expect silence to stop enforcement, you will be disappointed. If you expect silence to mean victory, you will misread reality. Silence is not an outcome. It is a condition of the record. The record now shows unanswered questions and unproven assertions. That matters in appeals. It matters in court. It matters to inspectors general. It matters when narratives are tested. So here's the rule. You do not interpret silence as success. You interpret silence as unresolved authority. And unresolved authority never disappears. It accumulates. In the next video, we'll address when and how to escalate and how to move from unanswered questions to formal record challenge without undoing your position. And as always, may truth reign supreme.